Hi, this is Greg with Engaging Teacher. I'm starting a new TpT store, and guiding me through the process will be Rebecca. She started her TpT store over 5 years ago and has agreed to answer my questions and share her experiences running an online business. I was in a Facebook group the other day and I saw this question. Somebody was asking about PDF worksheets, and they posted a picture of this worksheet that they liked, and they wanted to know the software that is used to make this worksheet. So what I wanted to do today is look at not how to recreate that one specific worksheet, but to create your own worksheet from scratch and in the software you prefer, and using TpT, free TpT products to help us do that. So I was wondering if we could put something similar to what that person was looking for together just really quickly and run them through the whole process.
Sure. So we'll be creating a worksheet that they can use for a counting exercise for a primary grade. And to do that, as you mentioned, we're going to be looking for some borders and for some clip art. And then we're assuming that you have font already downloaded that you like to use.
Okay.
Okay.
And the software you use obviously is PowerPoint, right?
I do everything in PowerPoint, and
Okay.
that's only because I don't know how to use anything else.
All right, but it's real easy to convert that to PDF.
For me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have the skill set in Adobe or in something else, then go for it. It's just, this is what I know, so this is what I do.
Okay.
I will tell you, don't ever use Word. Word is the devil.
Okay. All
Nothing can be arranged in Word.
Okay.
All right. All right, so let's go to TpT, and we're going to look for borders. And there's a bunch of different options that are available. I'm going to just go ahead and open that up in a new tab so that I can find it easier. Now I've got my kind of go-tos here, Creative Clips. I really like her stuff. It's cute. She has a lot of great free stuff. So we're going to look for just the free things right now. Trust me, you will pay her back tenfold when you start investing in clip art.
All right.
And so I'm looking at the counting stuff, and then I'm going to go to EduClips as well. Again, looking to see the free stuffs. Again, you'll pay her back 10 times over. They're really smart in their marketing. So I'm looking for things that would be good for counting.
Okay.
So things that are in black and white. Always go to the terms of use. Make sure that whatever it is that you are using is okay to use.
Because if you're selling it, different terms of use than if you're just using it for your own classroom, right?
Exactly. All right. And then here's her terms of use. I'm going to read through it. Make sure that it's okay for me to use it for my worksheet, and even if I sell it on TpT. It says right here what's acceptable and what's not. So
Okay.
very defined right there. All right, I'm going to go to my PowerPoint, and let's go ahead and set it up for a worksheet. So across here at the top, you want to go to Design, and then you want to make sure that it's the right size. So you'll go to Custom, and you're going to make it size of a paper. So you want it to be 8.5 by 11. And then you want to make sure, depending on how you're making it, portrait or landscape, just however you're setting your worksheet up.
And you choose Ensure Fit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And so now I'm just going to get those text boxes out of the way. I'll be adding more in later, but just so I have a blank sheet to start with.
So you deleted them and you just starting with a blank sheet.
Yep.
All right.
Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to find my background or my border that I like. This is all personal preference, whatever makes your heart happy. So.
And these are the free borders you just downloaded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
A lot of choices.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff. And then of course at the end we won't do a video, but we'll want to make sure that we do our credits page for everything that we're using in here.
Okay.
For sure. All right. And I'm going to make sure that it's the right size. That looks good. I don't see any extra white space or black space that I shouldn't have. So, and now I'm just going to bring in a bunch of my clip art, and I'm going to bring it in all at once, and then I'll resize it and play with it later on, just so that I have everything in here that I might possibly want to use.
So we're going holiday theme with GIF, snowman, and pie, huh? And
Yep.
candy canes, okay.
At the time of this recording, this is what was. So I'm going to grab them all by going to the top and dragging it down, or I can hit Control A. I'm going to unclick the one that I already made little. And then if I just drag one of them, it will resize everything all together.
Okay, so you get it all kind of close to start with.
Yep. And then I'm going to align them all so I can have them all pretty much even with one another. And then I'm going to align them horizontally so that everything is nice and even.
Okay, so you just dragged out one piece of clip art, then went a line, and then it did it for you. Okay,
Yep.
Now you can see them all.
Yep. I mean, you can certainly do all that manually, but
No, that's a lot quicker.
yeah. All right, and now I'm going to make my boxes to put the items in, and then also to put the numbers in that the student will be writing. I just made it a little bit thicker.
Okay.
And then, so one side will have the picture, and then the other side will be where the student writes the number.
Okay, all right.
So, and then if I just group it together, it'll all be one thing.
And grouping is just Control G or select it all and right click
Mm-hmm.
group.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm going to paste it as a picture so that I can manipulate it. If you keep it as a shape, it becomes kind of challenging sometimes.
Okay.
Things come apart and it's just a little bit frustrating.
All right.
All right. So now I'm realizing I probably want to make that a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come back over to the original one. I'm going to make this bigger because messing with the picture just didn't work.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't delete it, because you never know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're going to move it up, and then we're going to put the pieces inside. But I need to send this to the back so that I can have access to the pieces.
Okay.
And I still need to send it back further. Still further. But if I go too far back, then it'll be behind the border, so.
Oh.
See? There, I did it.
Okay.
All right. Now I can put my cake pieces in, or pie pieces, whatever those are. And I'm going to make all my copies. Get that out of my way because it's bugging me.
And then when you duplicate it like that, they're all the same size, so that makes it easy.
Now I'm going to do the same thing with the alignment.
Okay.
So that it makes them all on the same level and the same distance apart.
Okay. And then you grouped them?
So then I can move it as one object instead of
Okay.
however many different 8 different objects. But then I get in here and I'm like, we've been learning to count in groups of 5, so I might have to redo that. And I'll come back, I think, and do that in a little bit. Because while I do like it, and they can certainly count 8, I want to get them in the habit, if I can, of doing it now.
Rows of 5. Uh-huh.
All right, I'm just going to continue the same thing. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you can just kind of see the work that I did.
Okay, so basically you're creating 3 text boxes for counting, right? You're doing a top, and then there'll be a second and a third box, each with a different piece of clip art in there. This is where you change it to the 5 group instead of the 4 group. Okay. Okay, so I know we didn't plan what we are going to make. We're just trying to make a certain type of product to show you, but there's still some thoughts you have to put into this. Like, you wanted to make sure that's right for your class, so you did the 5 counting. You're building 3 boxes for counting. Then you have clip art you need to think about, and later we'll show there's the practical side too. So there's always a little bit of thinking about the design or what needs to go into the product along with how you make it.
Yeah, and so now all I'm doing is just adding kind of some cute stuff at the bottom. This is completely superfluous. You don't need it at all, but it's fun for me. And I brought him to the front so that his antlers would not be behind the box.
Okay.
I'm just moving everybody around until I get it where I like it. And now, because it's a worksheet, you need somewhere for students to be able to put their name.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing is, here I've got just Calibri, and I mean, that's fine, it does it, but I like kind of the cuter font. So if you go in and you use your custom fonts, if you look, they don't do the underlines, or if they do them as a dashed line, like that. So what I do to get around that is I will keep Calibri for the line, and then I just highlight the name and I change that to the cute font.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But now I have a chunky font and a skinny line. I don't like that either. So now I need to go in and fix the line, and I'm going to make that thick so that it visually matches the type of font that I have. I know, picky, but it's what I like. So.
Okay. And even though you're using a custom font, since this is a PDF, it will work for everybody, right? It's not going to change on them.
Yeah, that's the thing. The format of a PDF keeps everything the same.
Okay. You just need to make sure you give them credit based on whatever the terms of use are.
Yep. And so now I just realized, well, we have a worksheet, but we have no instructions.
Okay.
If you don't give instructions, students won't know what to do.
Okay.
One thing also with the type of fonts, I'm pretty particular about what it is that when my students are reading it, what type of font I use. When you use some of these super cute fonts and they're not what the students have learned to read, especially for your younger kids, you will spend a lot of time talking about why letters look different than how they learn to write them. So I try to find something that actually is fairly similar to how they would write.
Okay. And then to make sure, you just need to resize everything so that it looks appropriate.
Yeah, because now I need to put this instruction box in there, so I want to make sure that there's room and it looks evenly spaced.
Okay.
Yep, so I just grouped my pictures together, and now I'm going to line up my text box with the edge of my counting boxes. Make sure that everything's spaced out properly and centered.
Okay. So you've made it cute, but the clip art's not in the way of the actual exercise. You made room to put the name and instructions, which they need.
And so you can see here everything is still separate pieces of clip art. And so to honor the terms of use, I need to group this together so that nobody can take these out.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a thing where I grab everything and I cut it and I insert it as a picture. So I can go to the corner and drag, or I can hit Control A. Then I cut it, and then I'm going to insert it from the clipboard, and you can see here that it doesn't always come in just right, so you might have to mess with it a little bit. See what I'm doing? Offset top and bottom.
In format background. Gotcha.
Now the one thing is, sometimes even when you just click the arrow up and down, because it goes in, I think, increments of a tenth or maybe a whole, I don't know, you can actually type in exact, so 4.2 or negative 4.2. So I like to go around and make sure that there's nothing kind of hanging out. Now it's all one piece.
Okay, so you tried to grab it and nothing was loose.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And now there's our finished product. I'm going to zoom in, and if you look here, you can see on the edge there? If I move it, see now how it's white? I just wanted to make sure that I have it all the way to the edge because I'm neurotic. I don't know if anybody would ever notice, but I do, so.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm just going to save this as a PDF.
So save as, and then PDF's an option.
Yep, and then I'm also going to save my PowerPoint presentation. And there you go, there's my PDF.
So making it from PowerPoint to a PDF, all you do is save as PDF. Yep. All right, and there's your finished product.
Yep, and that's a picture of it, which we're going to show you in the next video how to make that picture pretty.
Okay, so when you're making a pin or whatever. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.